What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Today in this video we will learn about how vehicle weight, tire weight and tire profile affects the acceleration and braking of your vehicle. So without spending much time, let's start now. Let's start with the basic. Imagine pushing a shopping cart. It's easy. Now imagine pushing a car. It's hard, right? That's actually the concept of mass and inertia. A car's weight, which is essentially the mass, plays a crucial role in acceleration. Now, according to Newton's second law, F equals to ma, for a constant force F, a heavier car will have a lower acceleration. This actually makes sense because engine needs to overcome more inertia in order to get the heavier car moving quickly. Let's take a simple example. Here we are having two 5-seater car. The first car has 2 people and the second car has 5 people. So the mass of first vehicle is 900 kg and the second vehicle is 1100 kg. These are the engine and transmission specification for the car. Now, the torque on wheel can be calculated as engine torque multiplied by gear ratio, which will give 425 Newton meter for both of the vehicle. As you all know, torque is given by force multiplied by tire radius, and force is equals to mass into acceleration. This will give acceleration equals to torque divided by mass multiplied by tire radius. So, for the first car, we will get the acceleration of 1.68 meter per second square, and for the second car, we will get the acceleration of 1.37 meter per second square. Now, if we calculate the time taken from 0 to 100 for the first car, we will get 16.53 seconds, and the time taken from going to 0 to 100 km per hour in the second car, we will get 20.2 seconds. Here you can see the second car is taking 3.67 seconds more compared to the first car in order to reach from 0 to 100 km per hour. This shows the acceleration of the car will reduce as the weight of the car increases. So increase in weight always reduces the acceleration? No, actually. There are some conditions in which the increase in weight increases the acceleration. These are the situations when you are driving over a slippery road. It may be a wet road or a snowy road. You all know about the traction limited acceleration, which describe a situation where the acceleration of the vehicle is limited by the grip between the tire and road rather than the engine power output. Imagine you are having a powerful sports car on a wet slippery surface. Even though the engine might be capable of pushing the car very quickly, the tires won't be able to translate all the power into the forward motion because they can't generate enough friction against the wet road. In this case, the acceleration would be limited by traction and not by the engine's power. So, in this case, the maximum force on the tire will be given by force equals to mu into n, where n is the normal force and mu is the coefficient of friction. It's time for an example. Here we are having a rear wheel drive pickup truck with a load distribution of 60% in the front and 40% in the rear. The total weight of the truck is 1200 kg. So, the weight at the rear axle will be 480 kg. Now, force is given by mu multiplied by n. This will give the force on the rear axle as 1883.52 Newton. From here we can calculate the acceleration from force equals to mass into acceleration. This will give acceleration equals to 1.56 meter per second square. Now let's increase the weight on the rear axle by 200 kg by putting some weight on it. Here the total weight of the vehicle will become 1400 kg and the weight on the rear axle will be 680 kg. Now force is equals to mu multiplied by n and we will get 2668.32 Newton. This will give the acceleration of vehicle equals to 1.905 meter per second square. So here, just by increasing the load on the rear axle, we can get better traction and more acceleration in the situations where the acceleration is limited by traction. Now, if we consider the braking, the maximum braking force is given by Ff equals to mu multiplied by Wf on the front wheel and Fr equals to mu multiplied by Wr on the rear wheel. For example, consider a vehicle whose brakes are tuned to give the maximum braking force of Fb max and the stopping distance of d minimum. Here, Fb max balances the required front and rear braking force. Now suppose you increase the weight of your vehicle from W1 to W2. Here, W2 is greater than W1, which leads to the increase in value of Ff and Fr. But the maximum braking force Fb max remains constant, and we don't have the extra braking force to compensate the increase in value of Ff and Fr due to increase in weight of the vehicle. So this will lead to the increase in stopping distance of your vehicle. Now let's understand how tire weight affects acceleration of your vehicle. Imagine you are trying to spin a basketball. It's easy, right? Now imagine trying to spin a medical ball. It's much harder because it has more mass resisting to the change in motion. This is the concept of rotational inertia. The same principle applies to your car wheel. Heavier tires have more rotational inertia, meaning it takes more force from your engine to get them spinning and achieve acceleration. It's like your engine is constantly pushing a heavier object. Let's take one more example. Here we are having two wheels with same dimension but different weight. One uses alloy rim and another uses steel rim. Let's assume this assembly of the rim and tire as solid cylindrical disc with uniform mass distribution just for simplifying our calculations. For a solid cylindrical disc, the moment of inertia is given by I equals to half mr square. On putting the values, we will get the total moment of inertia equals to 9 kg meter square for the alloy wheels and 12 kg meter square for the steel wheels. A 3 kg meter square reduction in moment of inertia might seem small, right? But it contributes to increase in acceleration, especially during a quick start from a stop. Lighter tire also reduces the unsprung mass, which enhances the handling and responsiveness of your vehicle. Now let's understand how the acceleration of car changes due to high and low profile tires. Here in the first case we have tire with a smaller rim, that is a high profile tire, and other with a bigger rim, which is a low profile tire. Both of the tires have the same outer diameter of 600 mm. Here, a high profile tire uses a smaller rim of 16 inches which weighs 8 kg, and a low profile tire uses a rim of 18 inches which weighs around 10 kg. The weight of the low profile tire is 8 kg and the high profile tire is 12 kg. For simplifying the calculation, I am assuming tire similar to a ring and rim as a disc. This will give the following equation for the moment of inertia. On solving for both fields, we will get the moment of inertia for a low profile wheel as 1.091 kg meter square, and for the high profile wheel, we will get 1.1146 kg meter square. This shows a low profile tire will accelerate faster compared to the high profile tire because it has low moment of inertia. A point should be noted here, this was a simplified calculation. In reality, the mass distribution of the complete wheel plays a crucial role in calculating the moment of inertia and understanding the acceleration. Here, a thumb rule can be considered. If a more weight is concentrated near the axis of rotation, this will result in lower moment of inertia compared to the weight which is far away from the axis of rotation. A low profile tire with a larger rim will have more of its mass closer to the center of rotation, resulting in lower moment of inertia compared to the high profile tire with the same outer diameter. Therefore, a low profile tire will generally accelerate better due to its low moment of inertia. Let's take a similar type of case. Here we are having same rim but different tire sizes. The first tire is having an outer diameter of 700 mm and the second tire is having an outer diameter of 600 mm. Let's assume both tires weight the same. This will give the moment of inertia of larger tire 1.225 kg meter square and the moment of inertia for the smaller tire is 0.9 kg meter square. So again, here the high profile tire has a higher moment of inertia, meaning it resists the change in rotational speed more compared to a low profile tire. Therefore, a vehicle with a low profile tire will accelerate faster, assuming the other factor remains constant. Here, the sidewall height plays a crucial role in determining the balance between the performance characteristics such as handling, comfort, durability, and aesthetics of tire. Low profile tire with a shorter sidewall, they excels in handling and aesthetics, but they may sacrifice the comfort and there are more chances of getting damaged. The high profile tire with the taller sidewalls prioritize in comfort and durability but may compromise on handling precision and braking performance. The choice between a low profile tire and a high profile tire usually depends upon the individual preferences, driving style, road condition, or specific requirements of the vehicle. So this much for this video. Thanks for watching. If you find the video useful, do like it, share it with your friends and colleagues. Also, if you are new to my channel, do subscribe and we will meet in the next video. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring.